Okay, Brian, James Parker, a little video recap for you, mate, from your evaluation. So yeah, I mean, I went pretty in depth with you in your session, mate, and I just want to be upfront about that, because you've got quite a few things going on in your swing, right? The shot pattern that I was seeing the most when I was just standing there observing you was a shot which starts over there to the left. Sometimes it stayed straight, sometimes it actually curved away from the target, and sometimes it curved back to the target, right? So you've really got three patterns: a pull hook, and a pull fade, right? I think as a starting point, and this is why I went in depth, because we were kind of rebuilding your swing a little bit, right? Talking about a few major things, but also rebuilding it. And you can see there, just coming down into impact, that the club, the shaft, and the club head, just very much on top of that red line, above that red line, which is just coming across the ball a little bit too much, out to in, right? So everything we spoke about related to basically getting you building you a better movement pattern to attack the ball from the inside, right? So if we just go through it a little bit in depth. So we spoke about your arms being a bit too far away from your body. So we got your hands a bit close to your body, a bit more pinching underneath your armpits here, right? Spoke a little bit about your grip, and what I was trying to get across the most with your grip was we don't want any gaps, right? We don't want any gaps. So, just a better placement of your hands, you'd be able to control that club a little bit better, and that's what I saw. That's what I saw. Besides from talking about the technique and the movement patterns, what I'm seeing the most is more of a whack rather than actually swinging that club head to control that golf ball, right? It's more of a whack down a field, rather than building a simple pattern of movement to swing that club head to control that golf ball, right? To control the golf ball, and I just don't see that in your golf swing, right? And that's what I was trying to get across with regards to the demonstrations I was giving, with regards to the whacking the ball rather than just trying to swing the club head, right? So we spoke about your setup, a little bit of grip, arms a little bit too far away from your body, and then during the takeaway, very much underneath the plane, isn't it? Right, kind of low. That club head's very low, and then halfway back, you kind of start to roll that left arm a little bit, which gets the shaft a little bit flat and gets the club head a little bit open, get the club face a little bit open, and then gets up to the top. And then from the top, it's a movement where it's very much over the top. There's no kind of shallowing out with the shaft, right? And if we look at it from face on, a little bit of movement off the ball with the head, right? So you can see how your left ear started to move away from that red line, creating all that space. Very limited with the wrist cock, right? So that's one of the reasons why I worked on putting your hands on a little bit better. Was just to control the club a little bit better, right? So then from the top there's a movement onto your left leg, right? I like that. Your head starts to drift back into the centre, But the one thing I noticed coming down is, okay, you did move back onto your left leg, but because the head moved over your right foot at the top. So what I mean by that is now the centre of your shoulders is over here. We draw a line down from there. It's more over your right foot, right? So the pressure is, the weight is very much over your right foot. And at the top, we want it, you know, if we're going to have a bias, right or left. And maybe I could show you this model. If we're going to have a bias, we want the bias to be towards the target, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, if you watch his hips, this is a guy named Troy Mattison, right? He's moving his hips closer to the target at the top of the swing. You're moving your hips further away from the target, and you're moving your head further away from the target. So that gets you settled on your right foot at the top of your swing. Whereas these pros now, they're moving the hips a little bit closer to the target at the top of the swing. Then they can settle on their left foot at the top in preparation to start down and get over on their left side, right? If we look at it from this way, there's a really good angle here, right? Put a little line there where his tailbone is, hips. We watch where his hips go, right? So his hips are moving towards the target, right? Towards the target, not away from it. Okay, so that's a really good example there. Get your swing up again. 1 second. Just put those lines back. And we're about there, weren't we? We're kind of down to P5. So what I'm saying is, you know, and this was certainly the look that I noticed coming down, is because you're so right-sided at the top. Yes, there's an effort to get back on your left foot, but certainly coming through the shot, post-impact, if you watch this right foot now, I'll put a circle around that, you're just swiveling on that back foot, right? You're just swiveling on that back foot, right? So there's no posting up on the left leg, which is what you see all the good players do, right? None of these guys hit the ball off their back foot, okay? And certainly staying on your back foot is going to contribute to you coming over the top like that way, right? So the better we can make a simple backswing and then get on our left foot, the better you're gonna, the more chance you're gonna have of that club coming down between the two red lines through the slot and attacking the ball from the inside. Okay, and you can certainly see it there. If you watch that right foot, that image on the left side, that right foot's just swiveling, right? So then the finish, we spoke about the finish a little bit, kind of approaching finish. A lot of space underneath here, under this left arm, right? And what I also noticed as well is the spine bending forward, right? We want the spine bending backwards. So let me give you a, let's put up Troy Mattison again. It's the guy we were using as the model. There you go. So you watch his, you look at his spine angle, kind of approaching finish, right? He's bending backwards with the spine, right? And these are the patterns they all follow, whether you're looking at Tiger or Rory or Troy Mattison there, or Grant Waite or Justin Rose or any of them, right? They all move their spine in a very, very, very similar way. So how did we go about changing your swing? Well, just bear with me a sec. I've got your drill up here somewhere. Just bear with me. So this was your new takeaway, right? So old takeaway, club head very low, behind your hand, underneath your hands and behind your hands. So we got a stick there, and I said, well, just very simply, don't hit the stick, right? So it's a little bit better, but you can see how that club head is still at P2, position 2. The club head's still behind your hands, right? So I come in and I give you the little feeling of just getting the club head higher in your takeaway, a bit more left wrist cock, right? A bit more cocking with your wrist, cocking the left wrist, bending the right wrist, and you see how higher it is there. So that was your little exercise to get the club on plane, right? That was better there. Look, that's much better. So that's going to set you up. That's just going to set you up for a much better backswing, right? So you can see there, halfway back compared to there. Look at the difference in arm positions and shaft positions, and without even, I mean, we changed your grip a little bit, but it's also changed the club face position as well, right? You can see how open this one here is on the left side. So then face on, right? This was your swing at the start. All right, let's draw some lines there again. So, like I said, we kind of went back and forth talking about different things, because there's a few things I wanted to cover, right? So, I said, right, well, there's the. We want the club head moving up more, right? We then want, as we're coming down, we want to get onto your left leg. So look at how you're getting onto your left leg there. The one comment I made as you were getting on your left leg is it's still too bent, right? Which is going to slow down your rate of turning. If you straightened your left leg more, you turn more, right? But if I just stop you there compared to there, right? Look how you're still swiveling round on this back foot. And your head's moved forward, right? So your spine now is kind of bending forward this way, whereas now your spine's bending backwards, right? Little caveat to that was we put a little T-peg under your left armpit to keep your connection, right? And that looks much better. You look at that finish there compared to the one on the left. Now it's starting to look something similar, right? So just like we saw Troy Mattison, he's got some back bend, right? But we actually did a better job than that. So I've got another video here, and it was a much better backswing now, right? Getting that club head up higher. Look, missing the yellow stick as you go back. That was a really good drill for you. And then we're working on getting on your left side. So it's getting on your left side, keeping that left arm connected, and just really bunting some out there just to there, right? So that was your drill, right? Right, you turn up and it's a very much a whack, right? Not swinging the club head. Some movement patterns that are really letting you down. So we kind of slowed it down, talked about different movement patterns, getting on your left foot more, balancing on that left foot more, right? Look how you're balancing on that left foot now. So now your heel, the right heel, is actually leading the toe before the heel's actually behind your toe. And that's what I mean by the swiveling, right? That's what I mean by swiveling round. And then with regards to what I'm doing there is I'm just kind of talking to you about the squeezing under the left armpit, right? And I think we got a T-peg there to help you. So it's the T-peg under the arms to keep the arm connected and posting up on that left leg. And then me saying, right, to be able to control this movement, show me a practice swing where you're stopping there dead still for 3 seconds, right? And I think, and the reason I said that was because this movement pattern, you couldn't hold that for a few seconds, right? So we're teaching you the new movement patterns. On the left leg, left arm connected, club head a little higher on the takeaway. On the left leg, left arm connected, and then doing it slow, just bunting some out there, some little shots, just getting used to the new movement patterns. But what I'm saying is, if you've got 35 years of bad habits, right, doing all this kind of stuff, there needs to be an element of, right, kind of going back to the draw. It's not like you're coming in and it's just like a couple of simple fixes. There's quite a bit going on, right? So it's kind of back to the drawing board, making it really simple, kind of taking your medicine a little bit, and then being okay with taking your medicine, and then understanding that in the coming weeks, if you want to do some more golf lessons in the coming weeks, in the coming months, all this good work will really pay off for you. All right, Bryan, if you have any questions, mate, just shoot me over an email. Cheers.